So we've seen plenty of rappers let their ego get in the way of their potential. And I mean, when you're being glorified by millions of people, there is a high chance you're gonna develop some sort of false sense of entitlement. Of course, some are grounded and may seem humble, but truthfully, a lot of these rappers over time let a massive ego get to their head. And because this, they genuinely feel above the average person. And this false illusion they start to live in leads them to feeling more popular than they really are. Living in this delusion will lead to a misjudgment of their career and how they should go about it. And it's not until they return to their depleted numbers that they are forced to humble themselves. Now, before we have fun and start naming all these rappers, I want you guys to truly understand what the ego is. So sit back, relax, and pay attention, y'all. What the ego is the voice inside of your head. It's your perspective, it's your judgments, it's the way you talk to yourself, the way you view yourself. And most importantly, it is created by this world, by this society and its constructs, its beliefs. It's like when Kanye said, if a kid goes on a table in a restaurant and screams, they're gonna say, teach that kid how to act. As if there's some unspoken script. We live in a world that is made up of man-made concepts that were given their value. Material value has no internal significance, or any significance for that matter. It's all an illusion. And your ego is defined by all your worldly experiences, whether it's traumatic, whether it's your happiest times, whether it's your lowest moment. Your ego was created by this world and is made up of your entire life to this point. And your ego is the one who has addictions. Your ego is the one who's attached to worldly possessions. Your ego is the one who has demons. You are not that. That is not you. But the real you, who you actually are, is behind the ego. And this is why I always say on my channel, you are not your thoughts, you are not your ego, you are the observer. Your thoughts are simply a shadow of what you feed your mind, and how you feel is a shadow of what you feed your body. But who are you really behind all of these distractions and vices? What is the real you like? And that is something you find out through meditation. And when you do meditate, this is cleansing out your mind, cleansing out worldly distraction, keeping you grounded and connected with the source, connected to Christ consciousness, so you can truly plan and make decisions as your higher self. This concept might sound confusing. The more you meditate, the more you easily understand that you are not your thoughts, you are not your ego. And why am I telling you all of this? Because you need to understand the ego is made up of this world. So imagine if you're a rapper or a celebrity and you are being told all day how amazing you are. You have people who are looking up to you continuously every day. They are programming these artists that they are above us, as well as they're programming us that we are below them. They put these celebrities on a pedestal so we can once again just worship something outside ourselves. We wish to be them and possess all of their material blessings, when once again, this is all an illusion. We are all human and all spiritually have the same value. We all bleed, we all feel pain, and material blessings can only please the ego. You must go within. You need to realize that this society was built on corruption, lies, and they just want money. They don't want you to know, they can't have you know your true powers as a human being and what you're truly capable of. But like I always say, to be your higher self, it means to deal with discomfort. Your higher self desires evolution. That's what we are here to do. We are here to evolve. And moving from a place of love and focusing on evolution is the key to life. Now, with all that said, celebrities are treated like they are above us and we are below them. And when an artist falls for this illusion, they misjudge how they should go about their career because they have an inflated ego. And the first rapper who aligns with this perfect is Roddy Ricch. He came out so fire. Like original Feed the Streets Roddy and then Feed the Streets 2, like he really had us in a chokehold. What could go wrong? Well, after already building a catalog of songs on those first two projects, when he released his third project, as we all know, please excuse me for being antisocial, The Box, which was another hit of his, brought Roddy's status to a whole new level. He was suddenly a Grammy nominated artist who came out 2 years ago. And while he was one of the most passionate and ambitious artists we had seen in a while, them checks got to his head, taking 2 years to drop again, and overall never matching the same vibe and hunger that he had in his earlier music. And when I say his checks got to his head, you need to understand it got to his ego. His ego is what led him to go about his career the way he did. He thought he was bigger than he actually was. Do you know how memorable you have to be to take a multiple year break and come back and not notice any decline at all in your numbers? In simple terms, you have to be goated. And Roddy, he let his ego get to his head, which has forever affected his music career and legacy. If he stayed grounded, continue dropping, like the past greats in rap have done, look at Future. He never waited for us to call him goated and take a rap vacation. Every year we would get a tape, and every year it would go crazy. And because he put in all this work, the legacy came with it. And with a story like Roddy, it makes me wonder about Polo G. because he's so similar to Roddy Ricch in the way that he exploded into the rap scene, having a surplus of hits in his first few years. But because of this, he decided taking a break from dropping would be the best choice. And while I do know he's had family problems which pushed back the date, he's admitted that yes, in the past year, the album has been getting pushed back and he's been meaning to drop it. But he went those initial first 2 years with that intention. He was purposefully not dropping it, whether he wanted to build hype, whether he wanted to let the Piano G comments die down, whether he just had writer's block, whatever it be. These opinions and critics, as well as these hardcore fans, all of them got to Polo G's ego and are the reason he went about his career completely wrong. And just like Roddy, if he was to have stayed grounded and kept his head down and just continued dropping, you don't gotta be young boy with it, but there's no reason to go multiple years without dropping unless it's something to do with all these opinions and how they've affected his ego. And trust me, I know he comes off as a very humble person. Y'all gotta understand, I'm not saying he has an inflated ego. I'm saying this extreme popularity and worldwide acknowledgement, it caused him to second guess himself, go about his career differently than he originally had intended on. And those thoughts that were sending him in that direction were coming from his ego. Now, is there a chance he's gonna be on top when he drops again? Definitely. But I do think there are people who have tuned out. People have evolved onto these newer artists gaining hype, which have a whole different sound and style than what was popping in 2021. I mean, last time Polo dropped, Yeet was just getting popular, and think about the wave in new sounds of rap music just in these past 2 years. So when looking at Polo, I do think his ego was misleading him and got in the way of his career, because under no circumstance was it a good idea for him to wait this long. But of course, we know he has a core fan base, and we're gonna have to let time tell with Polo. Now, another rapper whose ego got in the way of their career, it's actually in a completely different way than these previous two rappers. Because remember when I said how your ego is how you view yourself? And these rappers, you know, have a false sense of entitlement? Well, if you're being clowned and trashed by hundreds of thousands, this will do the opposite. You will feel worthless, you're gonna feel betrayed by your fans, and you're overall gonna have a hard time channeling that passion you had when you first started. And who are we talking about? We're talking about Summers. This is a great example because if you don't remember, I actually made a video over a year ago now explaining how fragile Summers' ego really is. Because when he dropped Stuck in My Ways, and the public reviews were saying that it was trash and even his fans weren't really rocking with it, he let his ego handle the situation. He was acting so out of character for a rapper. You need to understand, you can't show emotion on things you can't control. Especially if you're a rapper though, because you have a spotlight on you. He would post on his stories saying, the world wasn't ready for this project. He was saying, y'all don't know real music. I don't care what y'all say, all that, right? When in reality, he's just getting feedback. He should listen and improve. What did Mr. Keep It Simple say? He said, don't get bitter, get better. And Summers' ego was too fragile to take this hate. It's a shame because he had so much talent. But after this flopped, he's just continuously flopped and not been able to match Fallen Raven. Y'all really don't realize how destructive outside distraction can be on your ego. These rappers deal with it in this way, we deal with it in our own ways. But man, the first thing I said in this video, if you got millions of people glorifying you, well, this will do something to your ego. And I really commend the rappers who have stayed hungry and humble, because it's easy to fall into the illusion this world offers, especially if you're balling. But at the end of the day, real fulfillment can only come from one place, and that's within. Now y'all, be grounded. You are not better than nobody, and nobody is better than you, man. You might be more disciplined, you might have a brighter future, you might be locked in. Good for you, I'm proud of you. But just because someone isn't doesn't mean they're less than you, man. We all go through stuff. We all got real life. I don't care if you're a lawyer or you work at McDonald's, man. You show me respect, I'ma show you respect. Simple. There ain't no stretching boundaries for that, man. And having an inflated ego is way deeper than just rap, but we've seen how it literally got in the way of some rappers' careers. But if you're a regular person, your ego might be blocking you from your dream job. It might be blocking you from your dream relationship. Y'all gotta meditate and learn why your ego thinks the way it does, and then start the subconscious reprogramming and truly enjoy life for what it is. Now man, I'm talking OD, I'ma let y'all go. For y'all who didn't know I was live on Kick, I'd love to talk to y'all in the chat, real shit, just on deep shit, rap shit, whatever y'all want to talk about. As well as I got a Discord, as well as I got a second channel where I only get deep. Now for now, y'all be cool, y'all be smooth, and most importantly man, be patient. I'ma catch y'all.